Hey, selfies. I am doing something brand new for this episode. I am recording video. Why? Because I'm watching other people do video on YouTube of their podcast episodes, not just interviews, but also solo episodes. And I'm like, I really like that. Sometimes I want to just feel that connection in a deeper way and watch a video. So, for the first time ever, you can watch me on YouTube doing my solo episode. This episode is a little bit different, and so why not do something different with the video as well? And let's just go for it. So, welcome back to another episode of the Selfish Woman podcast. I am here to talk to you about something personal today. I had a whole episode in the can, which I am going to release because it's a really good one and it's really going to help you. But I can tell when I'm getting into performance with my podcast. I can tell when I'm getting a little bit like, what should I talk about? What should I say? And, I get this great idea and I have it all mapped out. And then I go to record it and I literally can't get the words out because there's something about it that's off. I'm getting into performance or I'm getting into what I should be talking about. And every time I feel that way, I got to throw it out because it's like, you know what? No, that is not the vibe. I got to show up real. And so today I was doing the same thing. I was trying to record this episode, which on paper looks awesome. But when I started trying to say it, it just wouldn't come out. And finally, I'm like, girl, just throw it out. Let's do something else. So I'm literally just coming to you with something that is on my heart. There is no script. It's just me and you hanging out. So grab a cup of coffee. I've got my spicy mug full of coffee and let's chat. Here's something that's been on my heart lately because I know that a lot of you are exhausted because I talk to you all day, every day, whether you're my client, whether you're in the Phoenix community, whether you are on in one of my online spaces. I hear you. You're tired, y'all. You're exhausted. You are frustrated. Maybe you're feeling burnt out. Maybe you're just feeling weary of like holding it all fucking together. Or maybe you're just feeling like, is this really it? Like day in, day out, is this it? So many of you are telling me that you feel disillusioned, that you feel angry, you feel frustrated with how your life has turned out. Not necessarily that anything's wrong. Your life might look great on paper, but inside you're feeling like it's not aligned. Last year I was feeling that way. I was feeling really frustrated. I was feeling exhausted. I felt like I was going through the motions and doing all the right things, and I wasn't getting the result I wanted. And a friend of mine said, I feel like you're just out of alignment. Like there's something off here. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And it really sent me deep into a lot of solitude and self reflection this year. This year has been the most transformative year personally since my selfish year of 2020, which I wrote my book about. This year has been another year like that. And it's been really transformative, but it's been really fucking hard because I've had to face new levels of myself because I'm asking for more in my life. I'm asking for more. And you guys, when we start asking the universe for more, when you actually mean it and say, like, I want more abundance, or I want more health, or I want better relationships, or I just want more happiness, whatever it is, when you actually put that out there into the universe is watching to see if you mean business. And if you really mean business and you start doing the work on yourself, because life is going to give you opportunities to learn this, right? You ask for what you want, and then the universe goes, oh, cool. Let's see if you really mean it. And then life will start handing you opportunities to learn that lesson, generally in ways you don't want, generally in ways you would prefer not to experience, but it's the test. Do you really mean it when you say you want what you want? Let's see how you show up for yourself when you're tested. And so for me, all this year has been about that. Like, do you really mean it? Put your money where your mouth is, walk the talk. Let's see if you really mean it. And I've had to show up for myself in ways, bigger ways than I ever have before, because I do mean it and I do want it. So that has been this year for me. But I know what it feels like to just feel like I just want to burn it all to the fucking ground. I'm so frustrated and annoyed, whatever it is. Or if you're just exhausted or you're feeling hopeless, like that feeling. And I've had even just this weekend, many women share that with me. I feel so frustrated. I'm hitting a wall. I don't understand. Here's what I know about that because of personal experience. It really is a clue that you're about to up level. It's a clue that you are being called to elevate. You are being called into a higher level of self accountability, self love, self commitment, and you are being asked to show up for yourself like never before. This is what that means. If you feel like you're hitting a wall, exhausted, burnt out, overwhelmed, resentful, frustrated, irritated, all the things, angry, then you are about to up level, my friend. But in order to do it, you got to go deeper in. You got to go deeper inside and you've got to deal with what's showing up because it's a deeper level of working on your patterns, your emotions, your self worth, your self love, your actions, all of that. As I always say, new level, new devil. It's asking you to go to a deeper place of commitment to yourself. And one thing that has been showing up for me recently is something that I wasn't expecting. And it's all about this whole fear we have as women about what people will think of us. Now, I always say I'm a recovering people pleaser. I kind of like saying I'm a retired people pleaser now because, like, I'm just so over that shit, right? But it still creeps up. I used to be so concerned about what people thought of me. I never wanted to offend anybody. I never wanted to upset anybody. If anyone was disappointed in me, it felt like physical pain. Like, you know how that feels if you were a people pleaser. That was me. And I tried to be so easygoing and go with the flow and, like, no, don't upset anybody. But I was upsetting myself. I was offending myself by doing that because I was abandoning myself all over the place and performing easygoing when inside I was definitely not easygoing. You know, in Canada we have a saying that we always say, no worries, no worries, which on the one hand sounds great, right? Like, hey, are you okay if I cancel on plans? Yeah, no worries, we'll do it another time. But women, we are in the no worries so much that we're pretending everything's fine when it's not, when actually worries, worries, actual worries. Yes. I don't like it when you cancel plans on me. Or no, I'm not okay that you continually lie. Or no, I'm not okay with you asking me to do something when I've already told you no. Like, no, it's okay to be worried about that. We should be. We should be treating it with the weight that it has when we are constantly abandoning ourselves for everybody else. So, yes, okay. But, you know, what I realized is all of that worrying about the wrong thing, worrying about what people would think of me was keeping me watered down in my truth. And as someone who is moving into more and more of a spotlight, whether it's my podcast, my book that came out this year, The Selfish Year, which go get it, go get your copy if you haven't got it yet. I've been speaking at conferences and I've been guests on more podcasts this year than ever. I've got my Substack now, The Selfish Gospel, and I'm just getting more and more visible, which is exactly what I've been asking for because I'm really serious about leading the selfish woman movement and leading a movement of midlife women who are saying, fuck this shit. We are going to be selfish so we can learn how to love ourselves fully, so we can be a fuller expression of ourselves in the world. That is what I'm passionate about. So I have been more visible this year than any other year in my life. And I have come up against a lot of those old beliefs around what will people think and those old fears of being judged. And let me tell you, I have learned a thing or two about this, and I feel so much more free now than ever before to be my full, authentic expression and really not give a shit about the people who don't like it. And I have to share this thing that's on my heart because here, let me just, for those of you on YouTube, let me just grab my little beautiful book here, right? She's so pretty. When I wrote this book, I knew it was going to be exposing because I was really sharing some of my darkest times and how I got out of them. And so I knew that when I was writing it, but it's a whole different experience writing it than it is to have it published. And once it's published and it's out in the world for everybody to read and everybody to have opinions on, that is a whole different experience. Because what I have done in this book is I have exposed the three abusers in my life, my father and my two husbands. And I talk about them. I talk about my experiences at the hands of the three abusers in my life. And that was really scary. But what I've learned since the book has come out in September, so it's been 2 months now that the book has been in the world, what I have learned is it's also the most freeing thing you can ever experience. I was not expecting that because I do know that by speaking our truth, we set ourselves free. But I broke the sacred cow, right? I talked in public about the abuse I suffered at the hands of three men in my life. That is the thing you're not supposed to talk about in public. You're supposed to take those secrets to the grave. You're supposed to feel shame about that. You are supposed to keep that hidden. Why? Because the patriarchy has told us to, because the system has told us to be quiet about it, but we are not being silent anymore. And by exposing them in my book, what I realized is it has no power over me anymore. I was very concerned with how people would see this because they have their own opinions of these people I'm talking about. But what I did is I simply told my story. I'm not telling their story. I'm not laying blame. I am not passing judgment. I am simply telling my story of being abused. Now, what's freeing about that is I get to own my story, right? That is mine to tell, and nobody's allowed to tell me that I can't tell my story. I'm not telling anyone else's story. I'm telling my story, and it is mine to tell. And when I told my story and I put it out there, I was very nervous and very afraid of being judged. But guess what? Now that it's out there, I really don't give a shit because now I have toppled that sacred cow in my life and I've broken the silent pact of secrecy and don't tell and don't disrupt. And now that it's out there, I'm free because nobody has anything on me anymore, right? There's no secret that isn't laid bare, and therefore I'm free. And I've experienced a deeper level of freedom in my creativity, in my leadership, in my work than ever before because I have pushed out of that box of secrecy and silence and shame and smallness. And I've blown up the cage, right? I blew the doors off the cage and said, here, let me do the scariest thing ever. Because when I was younger, oh, I thought I would take these secrets to the grave. I really did. And now it's like, why would I carry a secret that is somebody else's shame? Why would I do that? I'm not bearing the burden of that. Let me blow that shit up. And now I feel so free. And it's really interesting because I have been on social media as a coach for 8 years, 9 years, pretty much since, this whole social media thing started. And I have been consistently showing up pretty much every day on social media, speaking my truth. And that has slowly grown, right? Like you don't get to being able to just put your shit out there and not care overnight. This has taken me years of work to build the resiliency to be able to say what I want to say in the way I want to say it and not give a shit what anybody thinks. And so now where I am is like, honestly, I feel like putting the book out was like the last thing I had to do. It was like the last barrier that I broke through. And now that I've broken through it, I'm at this crazy level of freedom. I revamped my Substack blog and now it's called The Selfish Gospel. Ooh, would I have done that even a year ago? No, no, no. Because the old religious ties and the old religious rules still had a hold on me from my experiences in the past, but not anymore. And if I want to call it the selfish gospel, if I want to preach a fucking sermon every Sunday about freedom and midlife women taking their power back, I'm damn well going to do it. So I am changing things about how I talk, how I speak, how I show up, because I really have broken the last barrier. I have spoken my biggest secrets. And now I'm free, right? I'm free to just be me. Doesn't mean I'm not getting hate. Oh, you better believe I'm getting hate. If you go to my TikTok, I have one of my videos, which is I think it's the one that's gotten the most views, over 2 million views. I'm talking about why women lose interest in sex. You can read through the thousands of comments from men just hating on me. You can go to Instagram. I've pinned a post on my Instagram page where I'm talking about why I stopped dating. I'm simply talking about why I chose not to date in this stage of my life. And you can read the thousands of comments from men hating on me. You know what they love to hate on the most? My teeth. They love to tell me that my teeth are terrible and they would never date me because of my teeth. That's it. That's all they got on me. And it's hilarious because it's like, really, you think that's gonna make me shut up? Like, get out of here, you know? So I have built this resiliency over the years of exposing myself in this way, exposing my truth, exposing what I really think, sharing what I really believe to be true online for everybody to see, and in my book and on my podcast right here. I've been doing it so long now that right now I'm at this place where it's like, how much bigger can I go? What wild truth could I say next? Because now it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to rock the boat now because nothing can touch me. Nothing anybody can say can touch me anymore because I've already said it all, right? And I've already exposed it all. So, like, I don't really give a shit anymore, which means the level of freedom I'm at is just exponentially growing. And I'm just so excited. Like, what am I going to create next? What am I going to say next? Let's have some fun rocking the boat, creating a ruckus, disrupting systems. It's fun because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We are meant to be rocking the boat in our lives. If there are any sacred cows in your life, let's tip them over, baby. I am tipping over sacred cows all over the place because they need to be tipped. All these things that we were taught we don't talk about. Be modest. Don't talk about how much money you make. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about how you feel about yourself. Like all these sacred cows. We got to start tipping them, baby. And it starts by tipping them in your own life. It starts by facing them in your own life and going, what are the sacred cows I'm not even saying to myself? You got to start there. And that's what I've been doing for years. And like I said, this year, I've been tipping a lot of sacred cows in my life, areas that I haven't wanted to look at or go to, owning stages, being seen, higher levels of visibility, all of this. Now it's like, all right, new level of freedom, new level of freedom. And what am I going to do with that new level of freedom? I don't know, but let's find out. And for you as well, what are you going to do with this new level of freedom? Well, first you got to get free, and then you get to find out. But you got to stop waiting to not feel afraid because I have to do everything scared, and so do you. I was terrified to put my book out. Okay. Like I'm always doing something scary. I'm scared to be talking to you like this right now. There's always some level of fear of like, oof, this is a little vulnerable, or oof, this is exposing. You feel it, but you got to do it. Don't wait till it feels comfy because you'll never get there. You have to look for those sacred cows in your own life and go, I'm going to intentionally topple them. And I've been working with a lot of my clients around this lately about, I don't know, shall we call it exposure therapy? I don't know what you call it, but I'm just challenging them to do something intentional that they know they're afraid of. For example, I have one client who's in a big corporation. She's a VP. She's up there, right? But she's terrified to go into meetings where there's leadership, people who are above her, the CEO, whoever. And she's terrified to speak up. She's so scared of like making a mistake or looking dumb or not having the answer. When in the rest of her life, she's a badass. And her boss is like, why are you so quiet in these meetings? And she's like, I don't know. I get flushed. I freeze up. So I said, look, stop waiting to not feel that way and challenge yourself to not overthink it and just shoot your hand up and say whatever comes out of your mouth. So she did it. She finally did it. She went in and she's like, I didn't even think. All of a sudden my hand was in the air and she spoke up and everybody loved what she had to say. And it broke that sacred cow of I can't be myself in these meetings with these people. And ever since then, it's just been happening more and more, and it's getting better and easier for her. Another client, she's terrified to speak up to her husband because she says, I know what's going to happen. He's going to give me the same old bullshit and he's going to yell and he's going to do this. So I'm just not speaking up. Fear is holding you hostage. It's keeping you silent. If his temper tantrum is keeping you silent, he's got you right where he wants you. You got to take your power back, girl. So we've been working on that, right? And then I said, look, just get in there and say what you need to say. Keep yourself safe. Have the boundaries you need to have to keep yourself safe, and then get out of there and let him have his tantrum. You'll see that it is not that scary. So she did. She went in and said, you know what? I'm not happy. And here's why. And she started giving her list, right? Did he have a temper tantrum? Yeah, he did. You know what she did? She left the house. She's like, I'm not going to stand here and listen to this. When you can have a calm conversation, I'll be available. And she walked the fuck out. She toppled the sacred cow. And once she did that, oh my God, she realized, oh, he's just a toddler having a tantrum, right? So you've got to look for those sacred cows and then you've got to intentionally take action. My book was an intentional exercise in speaking my truth in a way I never had before because I was tired of being held captive by this. And it has blown the doors off of my power, my freedom, my excitement for life, my creativity. So this is one thing that I've been seeing all new levels of for myself that I want you to experience too. So look for those sacred cows in your life. What is it? Is it staying silent to keep the peace? Is it not holding boundaries so you won't offend anybody? Is it feeling guilty about every damn thing you do? Like, what are the things that you see in your life that are these sacred cows that you're not touching? Maybe it is religion and the rules from the way that you were raised or the religion you were in that you're not anymore, but it's still embedded in your subconscious saying, you have to be nice, you have to be good, you have to follow the rules, you can't swear, that's bad, or you have to be subservient, or you can't be a leader, like whatever it is. Find them, root them out, and then let's topple them. And how you topple them is you do the scary thing. Before you're ready, before you know what you're doing, before you got it all tied in a tidy little bow, get out there and get messy in your life. Life is messy and we're so busy trying to make it tidy. We're cleaning up, we're sweeping up, we're, trying to make life feel tidier. It's not. It's meant to be messy. You are meant to get messy in your life and make mistakes and fuck up and learn, get back in there and get back in the arena and get muddy and get bloody and get out of there and shake shit up. I am so fired up about shaking shit up in my life. And I'm like, what's next? What's next? Because I am so ready. Personally, professionally, relationally, I am shaking shit up all over the place. And it feels so fucking good. But is it scary? Of course it's scary. Of course it's scary. You know my word, excited, terrified and excited. Talk about it in the book. That's the sweet spot. Because it's like, oh my God, this is scary, but whoa, so exciting too. I want that for you. So what's your next hair exciting thing you're going to do that is going to topple a sacred cow in your life? Because know and believe that when you do, you break another bar of that cage that's kept you small and edited and censored and polite. It's breaking another bar of that. So that is how you bust out of your cage that society has put you in, that people have put you in, that the patriarchy has put you in, and you are feeling the restriction. I know you are, because I'm hearing from you about it. I am too, because it's time. It is time for the midlife woman to rise. I just wrote about this week in Substack. It's called The Sacred Rage of the Midlife Woman. Make sure you go read it, because this is our time. If you are a Gen Xer, or if you are in that vicinity, maybe you're like 40s, 50s, 60s or up, it is your time, because more than ever, we have opportunity, we have earning power, we don't need a man for survival, which the previous generations of women did. They couldn't have a mortgage. They couldn't get a credit card, right? They couldn't survive without a man. We don't need that. We can be independent, and we are meant to be so that we can do our work to get out of those cages and get into our power. And no, it's not too late. No, it is not too late. My book came out when I was 50 fucking seven, which I still am. It came out 2 months ago. But yeah, at 57, I published my first book. I started my podcast, what, 5 years ago when I was 52? It's not too late. And you are not behind. You are right on time, but it's time to step up. It's time to step up and burn the bridges and break out of the cage and topple the sacred cows in your life and find out what happens, not just for you, but for the future generations. We are being called into leadership now. We are being called into leadership as the wise women who are going to pass this down to the other generations and show them what it looks like. We got to do it first. You can't just talk about it. You got to live it. And I'm here to help you live it because I want you to bust out of those cages and feel the freedom and liberation that comes with watching yourself do scary things, learn, grow, heal yourself, and get out into life and get messy and have adventures and experiences and learn that it doesn't fucking matter what anybody thinks. It really doesn't. And once you actually expose yourself to that truth and you realize, like, oh, I didn't die just because someone doesn't like my teeth or how I look or what I say or what I do. I didn't die. And not only that, I feel way more fucking powerful than ever. And that's when you start to realize, oh, yeah, this is your time. This is your time. And you are being called to rise up with the rest of us. And you're being called to join the movement. The selfish woman movement is how we change ourselves and it's how we change the world. Because when women get fabulously selfish, when you realize that your power is exponential and you can literally create whatever you want if you're willing to do the work to get it and become who you need to be to get it, the sky's the limit, baby. So that's what was on my heart to share with you today. And look, I'd love for you to connect with me, reach out, send me an email if this resonates with you. Come into my communities. Join me over on Instagram at the Valerie Jones. Join me on Substack. Like I said, The Selfish Gospel is coming out every Sunday, and I'm giving you a new sermon every Sunday. Or you can join me inside my coaching containers. I do have one-on-one spots open, a couple of one-on-one spots if that's interesting to you. I will guide you into everything you want and everything you can dream of for yourself. It's all possible. You can join the Phoenix Collective. We are a private membership of women where we meet 3 times a month on Zoom, and we have a private Telegram channel where we hang out every day. And I have something new. I forgot to tell you. I just created a really cool quiz. It's called Reveal Your Mask. And this is a free quiz that is going to show you how you sabotage yourself, the unique ways that your brain sabotages you. And I call them your masks because they are the masks that we wear that hide our truth, right? So it's maybe people pleasing or perfectionism or control or achievement or whatever. It's going to show you the masks that you tend to wear and the one that you wear the most. And then I'm giving you my unmasking toolkit, which is my 5-step method of learning how to stop sabotaging, to stop wearing masks in your life and performing and pretending, and finally live from your truth and your power. Honestly, the unmasking toolkit is one of the things I do with every single client, and I work on it with myself every day. It is so simple, but it is so powerful because it's science-based, and we use neuroscience and spirituality and your body to help you to set yourself free from these old patterns and coping mechanisms that are just keeping you in that fucking cage. So you can take the Reveal Your Mask quiz for free. The link is in the show notes. Go do it and figure out what mask you wear the most. It's fun and it's enlightening. And buy my book, The Selfish Year, wherever you get your books. Please subscribe to this podcast on Spotify or Apple. Please take a moment and leave a review. That is so important. Please leave a review and please share this episode with women in your life who need to hear it. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. This was good. This felt like what I was supposed to say. So I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.